This is my EDC ZV-E10 camera rig that I would use for most of my shoots. I use this camera rig for most cases, either in static or for handheld shots. First, we have the camera itself, a ZV-E10 Mark I, unfortunately not the second one. Next, we have a camera cage made by SmallRig. It's a must-have, especially with the ZV-E10 Mark I, because the grip on the camera body is small to hold. I suggest you get a camera cage so that you don't scratch up the bottom of your camera, so you can have it in good condition for when you want to sell it in the future. Now, the lens. I have two different kinds of lenses, a zoom lens and a wide lens. I have a Sony 18-105 and a 10-18, both being f4s. These are my first lenses that I've ever bought, so I just bought lenses that would cover from 10 to 105mm. I would usually use the zoom lens for my shoots, not just for the right focal lengths, but also for how it looks and balances compared to the wide lens. Moving on to the ball head made by SmallRig. It's not common to be using such a big ball head to mount a monitor. Personally, it looks a bit funky. But having a detachable mount point for easy rig and shoot kind of cases, I find it convenient. For the monitor, I just have a cheap 6-inch 4K Feel World monitor with a Tehan V-mount battery to power the monitor. Next, we have the Rode Go 2 mic, mounted by a SmallRig mount. A few last touches that gives my images/videos a special effect and right exposure are the KNF concept filters, the 1/4 Cinebloom and 1:9 VND filter. Now, there are a couple of gears that I don't really use for my usual shoots, a top and side handle. The top handle has a SmallRig mount that looks very nice and has a good build quality, but the cheap monitor that I currently have doesn't really do a good job with the rubber. I did buy them since there were times where I thought they'd be more convenient to have during my shoots, but I ended up not using them because of the time it takes to additionally add them to my current rig. Lastly, we have a tripod baseplate mount. It goes with the newer N555 tripod, but I usually use it as a camera baseplate that would balance out the weight of the overall rig. Here is the cost for each gear used for this rig. If you want to watch an example of a short film I made using this camera rig, click the left video. The right video talks about what lights I use to get those cinematic lightings in that short film and any of my other videos in general.